Greetings, greetings. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Plot Markon. Welcome to Earground, the platform that brings you some of the freshest, some of the dopest artists from Zimbabwe. And today, I'll be speaking to an artist that most of you already know. He's an artist who wears so many jackets. He's a beatboxer, he's a dancer, he's a comedian, he's a musician, he's an actor, he's so many things. And quite interesting that he also has so many names. Takudzwa Denzel Badwo Mashunganyika, aka ProBEATZ, Captain Fomby. Greetings, ProBEATZ, baby.
Zviri mudhara.
Bolato, zviri sei?
Tiripo zviri paMfombi apa mene muri sei mimi murimo kuchando.
Tiri kuchando. Marambopinda mamission aCaptain Fomby.
Kumbora mamission aCaptain Fomby kusati kunoku, but nenyaya yemabhodha manje akavharwa dandamboya ikoko.
Nice one. So just to kick off the interview, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give our viewers just a snippet of some of your works. I'm just going to play something for 30 seconds and then we get straight into it. ProBEATZ is a beatboxer and this is it.
Hello, what's up? It's your boy
ProBEATZ.
ProBEATZ. We're taking it to the streets. Same dancer in the building. Boys slam. Ndikatibata anchap taking it way back.
This can only be on Earground, New Voices Amplified. We bring it to you fresh, dope, and cool. ProBEATZ, welcome to Earground. Yeah. And to everybody who's watching, thank you so much for tuning in. We see you, we see your comments. We're going to read some of the comments as we go on. But that is ProBEATZ as a beatboxer. Everything that we're hearing there was coming right from his mouth, from his throat. I don't know wherever he draws those sounds from. Yes. Take us through your journey, ProBEATZ. You grew up in Mfakose. We know you as a beatboxer. We know you as a dancer. But now you're doing so many things. Where did this dream, this journey start?
I think someone who is the love for art. Like I grew up just loving art, every art form. And I think not having enough confidence to do either of these things made me to start doing it now. Because I felt, you know what, when I'm gonna go with some box, people always want to put you in a box with, I know if you're a rapper, you should just do rapping. If you're a dancer, you should just dance. But then I often would know if you can do everything, why not? You know what I'm saying? I think especially with the pandemic made me realize that there are a lot of things that you can do. But so focus on each one. But once you're in a space, like about what you really want to do in life and whatever. So I mean, it's also getting inspiration from people like Jamie Foxx, Will Smith. These people grew up doing everything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you get to a point where you start specializing just because you know what your strong point. But for me, I think it's just a matter of doing whatever it is that I can do at the moment, because I do it with the whole heart. Do it on Chifara, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't feel like a job, It doesn't feel like a job. It just feels like something that I need to do because it makes me happy, With money or no money. I mean, obviously everyone wants the soft life at the end of the day, but
Yeah.
if you're doing what you love, I think that's what's more important.
But let's talk about that love for art. Where did it start? What started first? You have a very interesting story around your beatboxing career.
Yeah.
But what came first? Was it dance? Was it beatboxing? How did this really start?
Yeah, munzwe iri maifects and fish wawe timu rupfura. Mfombi wawe. Achino mato.
Right on the location.
Achino mato. Tetu kwa vana wazezi nowhere. Yeah.
Nice one. Yeah, but what started first?
Well, what started first was the dancing. You know, I started as a dancer. The father Michael Jackson that I used to love Michael Jackson, and then also growing up with Anna Asha and Chris Brown. There was also Jamie Foxx used to dance as well. There's Anna Jason Derulo. All these people who sing and dance at the same time. They also act. They are into acting and whatever. And it was basic. You get what I mean? So started with the dancing. I used to watch a lot of Michael Jackson on, and it was on Rods and Jones. That's when I started.
Yeah.
So the dancing was started, and then I was where I was but rapping. I wasn't really good at rapping, so I just beat the radio. I studied boxing. I grew up around a lot of rappers, a lot of dancers, and so but dancing is my mind. But it's something that I used to love. I've always loved it, but I never had the chance to document it. One hour, I don't believe I knew, and then putting you on camera and whatever. So it was easy for us to take off because we just took our phone and then we did our first skit, and that was it.
Wow, great. You have won so many awards. You have traveled around the world and done so much that people don't know that you have traveled around Europe, you've traveled around Asia, you've been also around Africa, you've been to the States, you've been part of so many initiatives, so many projects. But I'm going to pick on something that was, I think, one of the biggest highlights of your career when you won at the World Championship for Performing Arts, when you traveled to represent Zimbabwe under Zikopa, and you did something amazing. So I'm going to play this clip for the benefit of those that are watching for the first time.
For me, it was surprising. Like, there are a lot of countries, there are a lot of contestants, but we're only the four of us, but we managed to loot a lot of causes. You can see Go D all the way, and we represented Zimbabwe. And it was a very good experience for me, and the most important part about it was realizing that no matter where you come from, no matter who you are, you can still make it on your world stage, and this is proof. Well, just keep doing what you're doing. Like, forget about the negative energy. Just keep on driving and keep on dreaming and keep on doing. I mean, just dream and do. I took a couple of overall gold medals, and I was beatboxing, and a lot of people had amazing voices and they were singing. I mean, but I managed to take it. I mean, we started from the ghetto and now we're here. Well, the next possible step now is, to make beatboxing here in Zimbabwe known. Just like, Zim dancehall, Zim hip hop and everything. I'm just trying to push a movement. I know I've got a couple of beatboxers that are behind me already, but I want to start going into schools and community places so that we can mobilize this beatboxing culture and make it big. I mean, great success comes from great support. I mean, I've got people that push me into going to this competition. I mean, I almost gave up. I had challenges with finances, and I had challenges, with just trying to get the visa to get there. But I've got people that believed in me, and shout out to Plot Marco, shout out to Nyarai, JC, and shout out to Zaza, shout out to all the Zikopa team, Silent, I mean everyone who was behind me, my family, and much love, man, much love. Words cannot describe how I feel right now. Yeah.
DJ Pro. Yes, that was ProBEATZ sometime in 2016 when he was coming back from the USA, where he'd won 8 medals at the World Championship for Performing Arts with Copper there in LA. We just lost connection with ProBEATZ, but definitely we're going to bring him back on the program. He has a very fascinating, very interesting story, and I'm going to read some of the comments. Rodiman says, I like that. Martin Monashe Ranga, thank you so much, Gondora. Komasia Natasha Moskupi, that is a comment from Blessing Michael Jani. Chabata, glad we say finish. This is real talent from Posteri. And so much love keeps coming through. Also on YouTube, we've got so many comments that are coming through. Your captain. Yes, Captain Mfombi, as most of you know him. He's multi-talented. He's done so much more than just acting. But I'm going to pick on one of his songs. He's also a musician. So he's got quite a number of songs that he has dropped. And he made a couple of songs, hits. And this is actually one of my favorite songs. It's called Ibanga. Whilst we try to connect to Captain Fomby, who is right there in Mfakose, and we're going to speak to him about his career and more. Stay tuned to Ground New Voices Amplified. We are streaming directly on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, on Plotmarco Facebook account, as well as on Zimfest and Zim All Stars. We're streaming on those pages. And thank you so much for the love and connecting.
Ukati unataka chikora pakona dudu dzedu takamona ibanga iru amwa chikuku ni amwa shampopo endigemu racho kutakwa ibanga iru wachika mupunga uro wachika manucho as long as wewe wakuta ibanga iru bakatumira peni wetumira.
ProBEATZ, what's up?
Phone yangu chamari yangu hanzi temperature here too hot, what?
Too hot. That came to Mfombi wapera magetsi.
My hands interview you pizza.
That's one. So yeah, we're just sampling Bangairoro just 1 second, and then we continue the conversation. Just hold on.
Takahoma tochinja msambo vanosviketa tocheka unge bemba usambopererwa chinja mazano usambomira mani we ramba uchicheka wangu iwe cheka ma settings cheka your balance ramba uchicheka
ibanga.
So yeah, ProBEATZ, you're back, and thank you so much for reconnecting. We're talking there about your career, and you explained it to us what started first, what came first. But what fed your imagination, the creativity that you're bringing now to the world? Where did it start? Like what was sort of giving you that sort of imagination to even try out beatboxing for a start? Hello, can you hear me?
Well, for me, like I said, and don't touch in one. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Yes, I can hear you.
You can hear
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
For me, doing everything, because now we feel like, you know, we can make a change. You know, we can change the industry and what people think about the industry. So we knows how to touch in one, and then knows about touch in one. The reason why most international artists manage to survive or sustain themselves is because they don't do one thing. You know, because I mean, you don't want to be that artist who can gig. You know, you can't survive. You know what I mean? You need to be in a position if people want an actor, you know, you can pull up. they want someone who can do gravity. You can pull up. If you can do skating, you pull up. You know, because I mean, we have one life to live. We have one life to live,
Yeah.
and we have one life to explore. So if you can do all the things that you can do in that particular time, kwanza kuzviita, you know. And for me, it's about inspiring the young kids that are around. And unoziva kumfombi mahero mashoma. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mahero mashoma, mahero mashoma. And normally when people talk about us, and kunobiwa, kune chipambi, kune chichichi, all these things. So I think we're just trying to change the narrative. There are good things that can come out of Mufakose. You know, we've got Kama Billiard. We've got so many people that came out of Mfakose that are doing big things, and I'm also just trying to be part of them so I can inspire and as well help young kids this side. I know it's a cliche story, but once married zacho dzakubatika muchaona zvenyu apana vachipisa kusai.
But let's track down your story a bit. You have traveled around the world. What would you say was the turning point of your career, or maybe the peak of your career, where you felt like, wow, mama, I made it?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was my first time getting on a plane, to be honest. It was my first time. It was my first time leaving the country as well, you know. And it was my first time using my passport. Because I remember
was
the
that?
point where I used to say to my mom, now I want to go see my sister in South Africa, so I need to get a passport. And she was like, now you travel. And my first time traveling was on a plane, which was it's pretty amazing, you know. It might seem like it's not a big deal being on a plane, but for someone of my background, kwando banging, sandwa dziperi kukakwira ndege, you know, like sandwa dziperi chakwira ndege, you know. It might not sound like a form of achievement. It is, you know what I'm saying. It's about how you look at it. Okay, zvinhu zvisingangoitika or zvatoitika, you know, because if I try to tell you kuti ever since I started using ndege kwese kwandoenda ndichinoperforma kana kuti say I've never paid for a single flight. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's an achievement because these are some of the things which I can't do them with my own pockets. But you know, I get people saying, "Yo, you're worthy to be in this place right now." So pull up. So for me, it's an achievement because I want to wakagara pandiriki nonganza awangu chimboya tumboenda. So I think the hunger is get something new and something great. Zvinobatsira futi kuti unge uchipinda new avenues, you know, meeting new people and you know, the exposure as well, you know, kuti ukafamba ukadzoka munyika unotonyatsoona brain dzako dzinenge dzachinja, not because you know we come from a bad place, but just getting exposed to other cultures and how people do other things, you know, even just time chaichaiyo, you know, just timekeeping. You know what I'm saying? But you need to be here at 10:30. With other nationalities I want to tell kana ukasvika pana ma 10:30 wanonoka, you know what I'm saying? Kana iri contract wakutobvisirwa mari just because wanonoka ne 1 minute. So I think zvinhu zvinokupa futi a bit of discipline, you know, just knowing kuti, you know, talent alone is not enough. You need to be disciplined, you need to have drive, you need to be passionate about what you're doing, you need to be respectful as well. So yeah, I think, you know, just being on a plane, going to another country to get exposed to other cultures and how they do things is a very big achievement. So for me, that's amazing. And you know, andifunga kuti zvekugumira panapa chete tinoramba tichienda mberi nazvo.
Wow, great. You won the Star Bright competition.
Yes.
You won the Dream Star competition.
Yes.
You've won the Zikopa and also the Ukopa competition, international competitions. You toured with Kwenda Productions. You toured with Dream Star. You toured with the legend, the late Dr. Oliver Mtukudzi. I think
yes.
pretty much his last international performance, you were one of the supporting acts.
Yeah, I was,
Take us through some of these achievements, some of these things.
Yeah. Well, with Starbright, I think with Starbright it was a very great turning point for me, you know, because I mean, as a young guy who's trying to beatbox and everything, because in Agora Mfakose, so I think winning Starbright changed my mentality, you know. That's when I realized, yo, whatever you're doing, it will become something, you know. Just keep doing what you're doing and praying. So Starbright, I remember, I got a mentorship program. When I was part of a mentorship program, and Impariwa, na Padron Mutago, which are these people are very big names in the arts
Sure.
industry for Zimbabwe. You know what I'm saying? So ndasangana nevanhu ava and vakandipa matips ekuti nanhasi bro, whatever room that I get into anoshanda matips iwayo. So for me it was more of the education that I got from these trips these events I'm live. Starbright was a great initiative. Dreamster as well. I got to travel, going to China, going to explore my cultures akasiyana siyana. I mean China, yeah, China yakapenga. Pasenda kujaira, kujaira. No, but it was dope. It was dope. And also meeting people from different nationalities, takasangana neKuPhilippines, because most of the times I don't travel and unongochinda kwe festival, So festival unosangana nevanhu vakasiyana siyana, unodzidza zvakawanda zvinogona kunge zviri zveart, it might be business, it might be, but yeah, you learn a lot of things. And with Dr. Oliver Mtukudzi, I didn't realize that that was going to be my first and last time performing with this guy, because I'd always seen him go backstage, maybe in front of perform always in opening act and chi. But I remember there was a time when he called me. He's like, yo, there's a performance in Cape Town. It was me, Brian Kadengwe, and Silent Mo. It was, it was crazy. There are so many turning points in life, especially when it comes to art, because unongonongomuka makuseni and then waona mention from a very big name, kana waona mention from a very influential someone,
Yes.
So for me it was amazing, because langokura nzvimbo mama namudhara vachiteerera Oliver Mtukudzi, so for me kundizwa kuti ndadedzwa naOliver Mtukudzi ndiri kuMacape Town, they were like unonyeba.
Wow.
unonyeba, but yeah, it happened and I was in the same room with him. It was so unreal. Until now I look at the pictures, don't go
Yeah.
So I think all those events more, I know there's more that can be achieved, because this guy told me, you're doing something that has never been done before by anyone on this planet.
Wow.
That's what he said. It's like, yo, don't look at what people are saying right now. If you love what you're doing, keep doing it. For me, it took me years to be where I am right now. So yeah, it takes a lot of hardships. It takes a lot of pain. It takes a lot of opposition. It takes a lot of sweat for you to become a legend. So he gave me those words, and I always stick with them. I almost say, I just think about what he said, because it's not everyone who got a chance to talk to that guy, Oliver Mtukudzi, but he was a very insightful guy, and Munangari boy was humble. I think almost everyone has got a picture with him, but it's not everyone who got a conversation with him. So for me, it's major. It's major.
Wow.
Those are some of the things that keep me going right now.
Great. But you're coming from a neighborhood that is there's a lot of drugs. There's a lot of stuff that is going on there, and possibly some youngsters also with a lot of talent have not had the same chance that we've had. What has kept you focused? What has kept you grounded? You right now in Mfakose, despite all the achievements that you've made, you still live in your neighborhood, and this is where you've become a superhero from Mfakose, as Captain Fomby. But
Yeah.
what kept you grounded?
Well, for me, I think it has always been an issue of knowing what's good and what's bad for you. Because normally when people do things, they know what's bad for them and they know what's good for them. You know what I'm saying? And with drugs, I realized, it's an escape for people. It's an escape. It's a temporary escape. So I then thought to myself, if you're always gonna have this my temporary escape, it's just figuring. You know what I'm saying? It's just figuring. Because as much as things are hard right now, there are people who are doing good things for themselves. So you also need to be in that position and to know, okay, am I gonna be on the bad side or am I gonna be on the good side? And I've heard someone saying, if you wanna help poor people, just don't become one of them. That was very powerful for me. It was very powerful. It's like, okay, cool. So if you want to help people, you need to help yourself first. You know what I'm saying? You can't change the world without changing yourself. On. So for me, it's not because andikwanisa my drugs kana kuti hazvina kids nechitoro pindawo escape iyoyo kana kuti chii. No, but I'm trying to be an idol. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be an idol. I'm trying to be someone anonzi akabva kumfakose, but they actually made it. You know, even in a space yekunzi there's exposure to drugs, kune exposure to violence, kune chichichichi. You know, people always say that about Mfakose, but right now I can tell you kuti zvachila, because people now vanotamba netball, people play soccer, people do this, you know, because even kusati kwani mahard drugs acho, there were people always still doing drugs. You know what I mean? There were people always still doing drugs. So I think for me personally, no, I need to make a difference. I need to make a difference. So many kids are growing up without heroes, you know. They don't need to be superheroes or fictional superheroes, but just being a father figure. Oh, no, system it's normal kuita drugs. You know what I'm saying? It's normal. It's not taboo. Even ukudza munhu kuti no chibhobho chakuputa ichi kana kuti chanongodzera wangu zvinhu zvakatonditakira ndinotongotraya kuti zvitese zvipfuure. Because what surprises me about vanhu vanoita madrugs, chero zvakaoma sei, haishaiki mari yacho madrugs iwe. You know what I'm saying? You may find out kuti agira ari kurova it's more than $5. You know what I'm saying? But this munhu anofamba asina kana boots. But just because ari kubelieve kuti no, this drug is going to take them to the next step, drugs. But then I made the realization that this art, this movie that we're doing, you know, we are inspiring people, we're inspiring young kids. You know, we've got people that act with us here. You know, I've always wanted to act, but you know. So for me, it keeps me grounded, you know, because even if I sing now, I'm singing with a lot of people.
So
you know what I mean?
Your art has been your escape, and it's been
my art has always been my escape. Like if I feel sad, sometimes I just rap. If I feel like funny things and I'm sweet, you know, like for me, it's just I just get into the studio. You know, I do a lot of dancing as well. Can I now feel out I'm not in a good mood right now? Instead of going to look for that whatever that you need to ease your mind, or you know, do not tamba. We act, we do comedy, we do all these things. So for me, even this art thing, sometimes it has always been an escape. You know, it has always been an escape because even right now, some of us have got what we call the survivor's guilt.
Yes.
You know, we couldn't do anything about it because we were also busy trying to make things work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know people are paying that right now. And if you come to Mufakose, I won't say names for the sake of privacy, etc. But for people at Tamba now, they don't know my dance, but they lost hope. You know, probably because it wasn't paying them, or there was so much things going on at home, you know, even depression. Because you know what, depression is real, especially this side of town. Especially, but actually depressed doesn't see could are depressed. You know what I'm saying? That's the most dangerous thing. You know, you take a man. My drugs, you know, my early pregnancy, you know, because people are trying to escape. People are not so far. Because areas gates. But you know, it's those you know.
And
so
you're talking about not having electricity in the neighborhood. I'm reading, and I remember you saying that not having electricity was the moment where you discovered your beatboxing talent. Can you just tell us a bit about that? Because I'm looking at what a situation of darkness where there's no hope, there's no electricity, there's no power, is done to some talents that they've actually lost their way, but you actually discovered yourself there. Just take us through what happened.
Well, you know, I think at a time where we would go for hours and hours personal markets. I think it was like in 2008 or 2009. I remember that's when I really started like beatboxing. So just sit outside, watching mom watch bika, pamoto and whatever. So I would just grab my bucket and then start beatboxing and everyone. That room was right on. But I used to love it. I would grab the bucket and I would use it as a form of projection because once you start beatboxing inside of a mic, there's that that sound, Buddha meme. So
Yeah.
Zvaindi nakidza. You know what I'm saying? Zvaindi nakidza, and I would do it for my friends and I show nakidza all, like my friends were rappers as well back then, so I would make the beats for them, to dance, So I didn't realize what I was doing was amazing.
Wow.
Until I met someone who was like, in fact, this is the fifth element of
Hip hop.
I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. But yeah, this guy exposed me to a lot of internet. I started watching stuff on YouTube. He introduced me to the culture and introduced me to new people. I started going from small stage to small stage until I'm here now. So like you're saying, Kuti, I used it as an escape. I used not having my gates to my advantage. Or fight, and maybe at that time, okay, I'm actually escaping from this. Until now you're like, okay, cool. So if you actually put your mind to something, it's not a Buddha, it might not be much, but it keeps you occupied. Because the reason why people always end up getting into crime or things that are like against society is probably because they're looking for an escape, or maybe because sometimes but just because they are looking for attention, But I've never been that guy who looks for attention doing bad things. I do good things,
And
I
talking about those,
yeah.
So talking about those good things, you have also been actively involved in community building. You have worked with so many young people, some that became artists, some that became followed other professions. But you have been an activist in sexual reproductive health issues, HIV. You worked with GB Step Up to HIV, went to schools, communities, impacted so many young. Just in brief, give us the motive, the drive behind that.
Yeah. For me, I started doing this because I realized there's so much you can do with what you were given by God, Instead of doing negative things or like putting pressure on people with, my bands, there's nothing wrong with flossing. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with flossing. But you need to look at your target market or look at the people that you're trying to inspire, the people that you're trying to motivate, Because right now, if I'm to start singing about, the $20 that I have in my pockets,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So instead of bragging about the money in my pockets, instead, I would try and help this guy with $1 or $20, if I can do that. So getting into when I was doing this HIV initiative where we used to go into schools and give young kids education, etc. It's because we realized my speech anopiwa anoboa. You know what I'm saying? Like ukamira papodium muchitaura kuti no, having sex before marriage is bad for you, kana kuti chakati is bad for you. Uchingoudza munhu anobatwa nawo because these are young kids, you know what I'm saying? And they're exposed to stuff like the internet where they see music, vanoona videos, vanoona chichi. So we realized if we use edutainment, zvinobatsira vanhu, because if you entertain someone and then you throw in a message kuti ngesina basa pakati, okay, cool, all right, okay, that makes sense. And if it's coming from someone that they can relate to as well, it's easy for me to tell someone kuti chinhu chakadai so chakaipa if we can relate, kana tese takaremedza mabhurugu andikanoudza munhu ndakaremedza bhurugu kuti hawangu izvi zvakadhakwa, angona kunzisainini than kunzisa munhu amwe munhu ane sutu, you know what I'm saying? So that's the influential part of it, because I'm someone that can relate to this person, this young person. Saka nzwa zvichitaurwa naProBEATZ kunzi wangu izvi zvakadhakwa izvo ngatidai so kutende mberi, zvinoshanda. So I found it suitable and really helpful for me to get into this HIV awareness campaign and drugs as well.
Great. So we're gonna take a small break, and I'm gonna show you ProBEATZ as a dancer. some of you are actually saying, oh, ProBEATZ. So I'm going to show a clip from ProBEATZ when he was teaching dance in Germany.
Let me do this. One. Let's go together. One. Then you step. Then you do that. Four times, right? Two this side and two that side. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? On the fourth one, you have to be facing in the front. So, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So yeah, that was ProBEATZ sometime in 2015 in Germany, Gender Productions. Yes. Now we're moving to your acting career, as Captain Mfombi. I'm going to talk a bit about your music when you close the program. But Captain Mfombi, for those that might not have seen it, here's a chance. Go on YouTube, on Envision Studios, and you're going to see Captain Fomby, which is a super exciting series. I'm going to play just a trailer, and then we get into the conversation.
I pray to the Lord, I pray for my soul. I don't like the devil being closer. I pray for my mom, I pray for my fame. I feel like my destiny closer. I pray for my fans, I pray for my friends. I feel like I'm one of the chosen. They pray for the fame, I pray for the bread. I'm busting out to Joseph.
That was Captain Fomby, ProBEATZ there. Let's take you, Captain Fomby. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Captain Fomby.
Yes.
Yeah. So with Captain Fomby, it was an idea that Charles Mugavili and I and Denise Edwards, Sean Munda came up with, and it's an idea that was inspired by a lot of superhero movies, but then we're like, okay, how can we make this different? People watch superhero movies, but mgeto zishoma zvikunzi the only superhero anenge achizikanwa kazhinji anenge ari Superman, of which kune kana 100 masuperheroes anenge achizikanwa. So we're like, okay, we need to make this different. How can we make this more appealing to the local market and also the international market? So yeah, like let's tackle real life issues, things that people face every day. There are so many things that we don't talk about. Even like abusive relationships, nyaya dzemari, nyaya dzengo sangobatana bho padheni, like even kusabatwa bho nana landlord kana kuti kusabatwa bho mabasa chaimo. There are so many things that we don't talk about. But we found Captain Fomby as a funny way of trying to tackle all these issues and talk about them, a way to trigger my conversations that are like positive and useful to our community. So Captain Fomby was that idea. You can go for my ideas that because we had started something called Imagine Everything, where we're doing a series of different skits. And on Imagine Everything, that's when we did a superhero skit. Which was Captain Fomby that we came up with, and it was in a day's work, So we got to okay, let's do it, There was no script, there was whatever, and then we did like a pilot, which got like really, really viral, When I spoke and then I'm like, okay, cool. So people kept on requesting, would you to buy Captain Fomby, and then we were like, because we started, posting most of the stuff during lockdown because people didn't have much to watch. You know,
Yes.
people needed activity, and we realized, good, yo, I mean, if we always feeling weak as artists, I think right now is our chance to actually feel strong for these people, so that they can have something to lean on, something that they can watch. You know, for me, it's about making someone laugh, changing someone's day, because you never know what that video may do to someone. You know, it may be 5 people, but you've changed my life 0 and 5. You know what I'm saying? Someone I'm gonna to funga you know, I need to do this, I need to do that. But I'm gonna Captain Fomby, you can go skit and then over spark, you know. And for us, that's motivation and inspiring as well. So with Captain Fomby, it's an idea we came up with as a collective, and I mean I'm a director as well, and I do the script writing with Charles Mugaviri as well,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's a small crew. Sean Munda does sound, and he does the editing as well, and yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty
Great, great.
amazing.
But how has that changed your status in your neighborhood? You've brought the attention to Mfakose and
Yeah, Captain Fomby has become bigger than ProBEATZ, man, or all of us. You know, like it is. You know, that suit alone. You know, kids just seeing that suit. So Captain Fomby, Captain Fomby. You know, for me, since I'm not Jaira, you know, like I mean, I'm an artist,
Mhm.
but and this moon I got Jaira. Zvezvikusimbiswa zvinoza idolize kana zvezviunganiro
Eh,
you know, like it used to make me feel uncomfortable, you know. Zvekuti I even got into a depression mode at some point because
Oh no.
once you become that big, or people start looking at you, you know, everyone will be looking at you every step. You know what I'm saying? You become conscious about not making any mistakes, or you know, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I realized, good, no, this is God giving you a chance of what you've always asked for, you know, leadership.
Great.
Trying to people see with you, whatever you are going through right now, you know, you're supposed to be in that situation. It's not about the situation, it's about how you tackle the situation. So for me, I've always been in that zone where out Indian captain for me. So okay, cool, let me be the people's captain. Let's
Wow.
yeah. But the reception
Great.
has been amazing, and you know, everyone loves this. And captain from even older people love it, and they love to see what we're trying to do with it, and we've been getting a lot of support.
Wow, great. And how was it playing it alongside Natasha Muza?
Natasha Muz is a very amazing character. She's a very amazing actress, and like I said, with the script, normally we do monologue. You know,
Okay.
we come up with a concept, we come up with a few lines, and then the rest of the things that you hear, the attention going to bounce off each other. So having a vibe in the moon or strong Shandanai like that, it's pretty amazing because it's hard to collaborate with people. It's normally hard. So no one's on it, especially if it's a guy and a girl trying to collaborate. So no one's on it. You know what I'm saying? But with Natasha Moves, it's flawless. She loves it. And I think it all comes back to loving it. Because normally when we do these things, we do it almost to near to zero resources on pane pasina chinenge chiripo. So normally to convince someone to get out of their bed or their house, would yo come through, let's record, let's do this, pasina mari azvingoiti, especially here in Zimbabwe. But if you actually find someone like Natasha Musa, yo, I'm really trying to be part of this, let's do it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. If we love people like Natasha Musa, I think the industry will become a better place, and all of us will make money, all of us will make moves. Because right now what we have is a vision, you know, to be honest. Industry you know, hapana structure chaikuti tingaona kuti okay tozviita sei, but I think trying to improvise and you know, doing what we can and when we can do it. I think those without tinge tiripanapa, even just having this conversation with you right now, it's because we love it, we've got passion, and to you know, yeah.
Great, great. So before we close off, thank you so much to everybody who's watching. Citizen Tawanda Marozwa, you say big up ProBEATZ. I'm going to ask a bit about your music. You have dropped quite a number of
Shout out.
songs, and
Yeah.
great. Now you have established yourself as a musician, and you've got quite a number of tracks that you've dropped. How has been the journey, and how do you balance these things? I'm thinking to myself, like, you've got so many things that you're doing at the same time. How do you put them together? And now your music is starting to boom. How has been the musical journey?
Well, for me, it has always been about doing things, just doing them, not talking about them or whatever, just doing things, And for me, God has always been the greatest director, God has always been the greatest director. Because for me, a skit, you make a video, you do this, and it always comes together. It always comes together at some point. Okay, sweet, but us, it's hard to plan. That's thing number one. And for you to plan, usnama resources, But if you do it as you go, no good. Like I said, if I get a chance to be in a studio where I can do a dance video, I don't go talk about big and then I do a dance video. If I'm supposed to go to a music studio to record, I go there and I record. If I'm supposed to be on set, I go there and I act. So for me, it has always been about doing it, and not thinking about how we're going to do it. Because I know it will get to a point where you can actually sit down and plan. But I'll give any budget. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do that. And I feel like power it will rotate at some point. I think things will become different for the better. Like it will change totally. So balancing it has never been an issue because I'm doing all these things and I love them. When you're trying to do something just because it's giving you money, and then maybe you're trying to do something just because you love it, but it's not giving you money. That's when you always find it hard to create a balance. But I'm doing all these things because I love them. So I always have time for all of them, depending on what I need to do at what time. Knowing good, okay, maybe we need to drop Captain Fomby. We just need to know for the next 4 days we're going to be on set. You're not going to do anything musical. You need to focus on being funny and all these gestures and acting and whatever. If we're going to be working on our music, the next 4 days we're going to be in the studio on our music. No jokes, no whatever, so that you can keep the same vibe and the same mentality. And for me, it has never been really difficult because if you try to look at even my music videos, the comedy in there as well. You know what I'm saying? That's me using the one element. There's dancing in there. That's me using the other element. Can do beatboxing in there. That's me using the element. There's acting. I'm using another element. So it's not always difficult to balance if you love watching and if you know how you're doing it. So yeah.
Great.
Yeah, no, that's all.
Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it. It's been awesome speaking to you. Last year, you're part of the Meet My Ancestors project in UK. And now you continue to make music. You're doing Captain Fomby.
Yes.
You are still beatboxing. And what's next? What are we expecting from ProBEATZ?
I think the next thing, the ProBEATZ is of a crew that's going to Mars right now. I told him astronauts. Because I do everything, man. Like, as long as super fire gets in now, we do it, yeah. I see someone asking, but is he still a beatboxer? Yeah,
still a beatboxer,
I'm creating some crazy content, guys. One thing you should know about me is that it's not because the parent has a video and business something else. I'm trying to perfect art negation. I think because you don't want to see the same thing each and every day, each and every month, or each and every year. Things need to change. Things need to be upgraded. So if I'm working on my music, I'm not gonna find a comedy. If I want a comedy, so that most no and nakufa. But if I'm making the music, it's because the music, it will be worth it. So I don't stop doing any of the elements that I do, but I just perfect them as we
Great. Great. Before you go, if you could just give us a snippet of maybe just one drop beatbox, one drop of your music. But before you do that, this one song that I love, and I'm just gonna play 15 seconds of that song.
Yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah. Very limited edition, very limited edition. Y'all keep hating, I'ma keep it going, I don't do competition. Very limited edition, very limited edition. Y'all keep snitching, I don't get it, y'all niggas get it in addiction. Anzi gondorara buruara, vani moyo yakaumarara. Vanosasa.
If you want to watch the rest of it, just go on YouTube, ProBEATZ, and you're gonna find all his music there. So yeah, ProBEATZ is gonna give us a snippet into his beatboxing. Some are asking if he's still beatboxing. Selector DK, thank you so much for tuning in on the Akaipa.
Yeah. Welcome to Ear Ground, where we give nothing but the sound from the bound.
Was in a special key.
We always drip when you never catch up.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, ProBEATZ. I really appreciate. To those that are watching, is one of the people that I've worked with the most, the longest. I mean, we have been all over, working together, and I'm proud and happy to see him make some of the major steps in the music industry in Zimbabwe. One of the most successful hip hop artists that we've got, successful as a comedian, successful as a beatboxer, as a dancer, as an actor, doing so many amazing things. Keep your comments coming through. We'll definitely be able to pass them on to ProBEATZ. Somebody says, you Clyde Moses Kalino. Oh, Kalino, David, ProBEATZ is the future. That's already
Kalino. Yes, I.
Great. So yeah, thank you so much to everybody who's watching. My name is Plot Mark. We've been watching to Ear Ground. What's your word to your fans, people that love ProBEATZ?
Yo, I just wanted to say, first of all, when I was saying, yo, I met someone who told me, yo, you're doing the fifth element of hip hop. I was meaning Plot Marco. I was just doing it for nepotism. But Plot Marco, man, shout out to Plot Marco, man, for, he's played a big part. If it's not 70% of my careers until now, man, just want to appreciate that. People should know. I feel like thanks a
lot, man. I feel humbled. Thanks a lot.
But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who keeps supporting, and thank you for everyone who sees the potential in us, because normally it's not about the end product, future, you need people like that in life, people who always tell you, yo, chaita, people who support you. And normally support, it doesn't have to be financial, or material stuff, just the word, yo, wakaipa, and keep doing what you're doing, it keeps us going. And I just wanted to say to every artist that's out there, there are people who are watching, and and one day is one day, it will happen for all of us. But yeah, keep praying, keep working, and stay out of trouble. Wow. That's all I can say.
Keep praying and stay out of trouble. Those are the words from ProBEATZ. Thank you so much, man. really, really appreciate you having spent so much time with us. It's been an hour. We thought we were going to do 30 minutes, but you managed to do an hour because it's such an amazing story. And to everybody who's watching Ear Ground, thank you so much for the support. We keep bringing you nothing but the best gospel. Great. I think I stood at 2 hours in Koma, and I was like, definitely going to arrange 2 hours one of these days. But yeah, to everybody who's watching, my name is Plot Marco, and you've been watching Ear Ground, New Voices Amplified. This is the platform that brings you nothing but the best. Until next time, stay tuned to Ear Ground, New Voices. And I'm going to sign off with Ibanga and ProBEATZ. Thank you.
Thank you, Nara.
Heavy. Akapedza heavy.
Ukationa takatyora pakona ndudu dzedu takamona ibanga iru amwa chibuku neamwa shampopo endigemu racho kutakwa ibanga iru wadya mupunga oro wadya manucho as long as wewe wakuta ibanga iru vakatumira peni wetumira meni avazi kukuziva mani ibanga iruru ibanga iruru ibanga iruru
zvinozuva racho zvaratongonyura njuka dzacho dzakamira
ibanga iri
hazvina basa todonza tambo kana zvakaoma tochinja musambo vanosviketa tocheka unge bhemba usambopererwa chinja mazano usambomira mani we rambo chicheka wangu iwe cheka masettings cheka your balance rambo chicheka